Welcome everybody to the Chicago Transit Justice Coalition very late meeting. So we took about 2 months off from the virtual meetings and did in-person meetings. So we're back to virtual for now. A lot is going on. Got the agenda up here. So this is our last week of using our last session with using the Zoom account donated to us by Brother Cody Mazzarella. And we really appreciate all his help over the year. And this was very generous of him. So we have someone else who's pledging, and I don't want to put him on the spot, but whenever they're ready to commit, we will have our own Zoom account, our pro Zoom account. Okay, otherwise the free Zoom account limits us to 40 minutes, and that's not enough time. So one of the concepts of unionism that we distinguish ourselves as are revolutionary unionists. So what is revolutionary unionism? Long story short, it is to take power from our employer and the politicians through direct action at work and democratically control our unions. And by doing so, we can dismantle the service and the transactional model of business unionism, which has neutralized our power for over 50 years. So this agenda is available for you at chicagotransitworker.com. All the links that we discuss will be in the agenda. So go to chicagotransitworker.com. CTJC meetings right here. It'll take you to our virtual organizing meeting page. And there are all the agendas going back. Wow. We've had a lot of meetings, y'all. Going back to November 2020. So it's coming up to 2 years of this agitating and serving the members and promoting democracy. Wow, man, time flies. And we've really grown a lot. So thanks for your support. And thanks to everyone on the call. So on the agenda, there are some links. We have our website. We have a Google Calendar. So you can subscribe to our Google Calendar and you will get updates of all the membership meetings for Local 241, Local 308, and the Justice Coalition. We have a YouTube channel, and we have a Facebook page, and we have some links on organizing. Check them out. Let's do some brief introductions. My name is Eric. I am a Local 308 union steward and delegate, and for full-time work, I inspect cars on the red line, the purple line, and the yellow line, and make sure they're safe for my coworkers and our riders. We got Robert on the call. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robert Thomas. I'm a bus operator with CTA since 2016. I'm currently working at 103rd Street Garage. And yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. And Robert, just put your camera on real quick and let everyone see this fantastic shirt.
Oh, yeah.
That you put together. And it says taking action on the streets. I can't see the rest of it in the little screen.
It's fresh off the press. Just got it today.
Yeah. And it only costs 22, right?
$15. No, this one's 15.
15.
The polo is 22.
Okay.
And and I'll have that link for you later on today where you can promote it and where anybody that's interested in this shirt can buy it.
And it does, just a warning, these shirts do cause severe allergic reaction to the union bosses. So if you don't want them to break out in temper tantrums and hives, don't wear it. Okay.
Especially Boss Hill.
Boss
Okay.
Hill.
Bye.
Especially Boss Hill. Ooh, careful, he's gonna call the cops on you there, brother. Okay. We've got Eric Slater. Go ahead, please introduce yourself. Unmute and introduce, please.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, thank you for allowing me to participate. I'm in a couple meetings at once here, so I apologize if I'm ducking out, but this one's the most important when rank and file workers can discuss tactics. Just to introduce myself, I've been a Chicago Transit Authority bus operator for about 17 years, Chicago Avenue, Archer, North Park. I've been fired for the last 2 years, the second time I've been fired, and I've been doing different work in the city. I'm also, my coworkers elected me to be basically their shop steward. The position's called part-time executive board member for the last really 8-9 years. And it's been quite a battle. So there's a lot more to say, but I really appreciate you guys organizing these meetings so that we can have a democratic discussion, because a lot of that's closed, unfortunately, in our mass membership meetings.
And Eric was at the ATU convention. I was there and tried to let the delegates know that he was set up to be fired by Keith Hill and the irresponsible leadership. And out of 21 people on the credentials committee, 10 voted to let him have his credentials as the members democratically elected him, and then 11 voted for him not to get them. So the ATU International and the ATU Local 241 is so scared to death of Eric Slater that they refuse to let him be what the membership of North Park Garage elected him to be. So much for democracy. So we will continue to hold King Costa and Boss Hill accountable for their crimes. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Eric. Thank
Yes,
you for
sir.
being there. It was very difficult. You didn't mention 308. I mean, 308 also, the top officials were putting some pressure on you
Yes.
to not stand with me.
Yes.
And I'm proud to have stood with you. Also, some of our sisters from local 1028 also stood with us, attempted to. And that was a good fight to be in. I was very proud to be in that with you. Thank you for doing that.
Let's keep the fire on. All right, thank you. We have Janice Brown.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me, Eric?
You sound great.
Fantastic. I'm glad to be here today. My name is Janice Brown. I'm a customer service assistant. I'm on the blue line, part-time. It will be 10 years on the 21st of this month.
Wow. This is terrible. Thank you for being with us and helping us out all this time. And this has to change. No more. We can't tolerate this slavery at the CTA. Anything else you want to add, or I'll just go to the next person?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me participate with the coalition. I appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. Okay. All right. So we got Nicole.
Hey, everybody. I'm Nicole. My name is Nicole Williams. I'm a bus operator out of 103rd Street Garage. I've been a bus operator for 25 years, 23 years full-time, 2 years part-time. And I just love being involved with the Justice Coalition.
We love having you. And you're going to be also a candidate for office in the upcoming local 241 elections in
Yes.
nominations are next month.
Yes, I am. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, you're our special organizer.
I am one of them anyhow.
Yeah,
one of them.
You're part of our mission to infiltrate and destroy business unionism at ATU Chicago, and we we really support you and thank you for your bravery. All right. And next is Willette, right? I know I got your number. 4780. I always do this every meeting, I know. Or is that Steve? I get your numbers mixed up. Come on, talk to us.
I think, Eric, I'm sorry to interject, but I think Willette is not on the line. It must be Steve because she did a double. She's doing a double. She's working tonight, so I don't think she's available.
Okay, there's got to be Steve then. Yeah. All right. Well, Steve might be working too, and he's sneaking. But I definitely that's the number we always get. Let me just check. Double check here. Yep, that's Steve. He's got I think his mute button is stuck. So I'm just gonna fix his name here. All right. Okay. All righty. Let's get moving. Where's Andre? Where's Andre? Okay. Where's do we have Tom? We don't have Tom. All right. Well, at least
Tom
we have,
was on the call.
okay.
Tom was on there.
Okay. So we got to get into this, the local 241 membership meeting. I'm going to run the timer. Nicole, I'm going to let you lead this discussion. And, you know, we need to get, you know, lead the discussion and go for it. All right.
Okay, guys, I just want to just give a little recap of the 241 meeting. We had our meeting on Tuesday, and it was a bit much. Our leadership tried to deceive us. They actually did a lot. It was so much deceiving. It was a lot of. First and foremost, I want to talk about. Excuse me. What I want to talk about is that we're having nominations on November 1st. It was a blatant error by the financial recording secretary. She put the wrong date on there. And when no one, the executive board, accepted her report, no one noticed the mistake. That is huge because they did it on purpose. They don't want to have members nominate other people. They want to put their own people in there. So what they did was they, the executive board accepted the financial recording secretary report, even with the mistake. When the mistake was brought to the attention to the financial recording secretary, she said, "Oh, there's going to be a lot of mistakes." And to me, that was a slap to the members because she get paid almost $150,000. She don't read her report and make sure it's accurate. It leads me to believe that she did it intentionally so that people who want to run and be nominated couldn't, and only their nominations can take place. That is huge. That is another slap in the face to the membership. Now, second of all, they didn't address the convention. They didn't address the bylaw change that they corruptly did, and they just think it's okay. They tried to kick Eric Slater out of the meeting, which I thought was totally wrong. I stood up for him and I said, the reason why this local has so many problems is because the leadership. If we had real leadership and they led us, then we would be okay. But Keith Hill does not lead us, and this is why we in the predicament we in. Then they put us out the meeting through the back door, which is like we're animals or something, as if we don't pay union dues. Then Keith, it was so many things, God. Then Keith spoke about recording. And oh no, let me get to this. I'm sorry, before I get to that. At the beginning of the meeting, they had this big old hurrah saying the secretary won this award at the convention and they should be so proud and have local 241 got $2.4 million in the bank. And Claudel Kane, the executive board, was recording it. Now, when they thought Eric Slater was looking at his phone, he was looking at a prayer. They told him, "We know you're not recording because we got stuff for all y'all that's recording. We're going to bring y'all up on charges." But Lord and behold, that night, Cardell Payne, executive board member out of 77, he had a recording of the boasting of how glad we should be because we got $2.4 million in the bank. Toy Bowers wanted to war. And I'm like, wow, the international giving her a award for what? Paying your per capita on time? Because our local has, I'm sorry, our local has all these checks missing, all this fraudulent activity, but they're giving her a award. She actually told Eric Slater to shut up. She just is it Andre? She just disrespect the members, and it was just like a shit show. Excuse my language. It was just a shit show. This meeting was outrageous. You know, I had to tell President Hill on more than one occasion to chair the meeting because he lets the meetings get so out of order. But wait a minute, somebody.
Do you want me to display anything or show? I have some audio that somebody sent me.
Right. I want you. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, let's display the audio. Then we can all talk about that. Display the audio.
Wait,
okay.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question.
Go
All right,
ahead.
they were talking about because you were recording at the meeting that they could bring up charges on you. What charges could they possibly bring up on you?
No, they just trying to scare us. No, they can't try to scare us. I actually was in court with some other members, and the judge told them it is not illegal to record at your union hall. It's illegal to record someone at their home. So we know that not to be true, but President Hill is scared that somebody's gonna record his bad behavior at the meetings. He's just trying to scare us, but we're not easily scared because we record, we got videos of all the time how he put 308 members out, how he started fights within the union. We're not scared of him because and I even emailed him, but let's look at this video first. Because look at what the executive board recorded.
Okay, so I'm gonna play the audio. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
Over 600,000 combined in the bank, almost 200,000 in debt.
All right.
So when you add you do the subtraction, 600 minus the 200,000, how much money do we actually have on hand? $400,000. That was April 1st, 2017. April 1st, 2017. Here we are, October of 2022. We got 2.4 in the bank. So we raised the bank by $2 million. The most money the local 241 has ever had in history. In history. But let's talk about the rough 5 years. You get the constant bickering and lying and pointing fingers that people are stealing, things are done wrong, things are this and that. Officers don't say nothing. The boards don't say nothing. You just keep working, keep working.
So let's I'm gonna pause this because Brother Andre, he was also at the meeting, has his hand up. Go ahead. Go ahead, Andre.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Keith is quoting what he quoting. You know, where they get the money from, there's no investments going into the local. Before they went to the convention, it was $1.6 million. Now they back up to $2 million or something like that. Where's the money coming from? And then if it was $400,000, you going to jail. In other words, if Tommy left the building, the local with $400,000, then he's going to jail. And because all this is just cooking the books and lying. Toy, she just getting in. How is she coming up with these figures? Because she didn't know what she was doing. And then they put a committee together in the beginning trying to think that they're going to come up with something on us. And the committee came up with nothing. So these guys ain't doing nothing but lying. You know, they know $400,000. And it's $600,000 if they going off what Javier left us in the beginning. If that's the case, and so far I done heard 3 different amounts. You know, one time it was 700,000, one is $640,000, and now we got 600,000. So Keith don't know what amount he want to lie about because none of that's true. They left out, gave the local with like $1.4 million, and that's pretty much where they at now because they still running the local. So that it ain't. all of a sudden, where's the money coming from? You know, it ain't no money coming from nowhere. They just inflating the books, making up numbers, and lying to the membership. And Keith ain't giving nobody no proof. If you notice, you know, if I make some type of inflammatory statement like that about the last administration, and I want the membership to believe it, I'm going to give them proof of the situation. Keith have done nothing but made statements with nothing. He give us nothing every time he makes statements. That's why I just, you know, don't believe nothing he say. But these people in the audience, which is his supporters, they believe that dumb stuff. Because
you know what, you know what, Andre, I'm gonna call the police on you.
All right.
All right. Go ahead, Nicole.
All right.
I just want to elaborate. Well, it's funny that President Hill said that there was no video in the Union Hall, but this is the video that came out and was put on his own personal ATU page. This only the part where he boasted, not the part where Toy Bowers is in some nerves, not the part we proved him to be stealing. That he says allegation. We'll just show something in black and white for any member. I challenge you. Just like Andre said, look at what's in black. We don't know how much money we have in the bank because they don't provide banks. We don't even know what bank our money is in, if that much. So to challenge Keith Hill to show you where we have $2.4 million in the bank, because that couldn't be true. Because if you go about just 2022 profit and loss statements the Toy Bowers have provided to us, the numbers do not add up. And last month, Toy Bowers took in $100,000 for back arrearages. It doesn't reflect in her profit and loss. So we didn't gain more money. We actually didn't even lose more money. Her profit and loss stays around the same. But they just went to the convention and spent all this money, which should have been a debit. And then by the members' arrearages allegedly being deposited, it should be show credit. But her books say the same thing. So they're out here boasting about this, and this is the only video. And I wrote President Hill, I said, you should bring Cardell Kane up on charges, as you stated in the meeting. You said for those that are videoing in the Union Hall, you were gonna start bringing up charges. You should make an example out of him because it wasn't a member, it was an executive board member who should know better. So you mean to tell me you're not gonna bring him up on charges? Yeah, he's been talked to. I wrote him an email. I said, oh, he's been talked to. I didn't want to go back and forth with him.
Hey, Nicole, I say we motion at the next membership meeting that Claudel Kane do 100 push-ups for making a recording and defying Boss Hill.
And I second your motion, Eric.
Very good. Now we have to have a vote. 100 push-ups, brother. Get on the floor.
Something else. Let me ask why we talking about this meeting. Is anybody familiar with Robert Rules of Order? Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay. So they tried to adjourn the meeting, and I said President Hill had acknowledged a member, and they said, "Well, I must adjourn." I said, President Hill, Robert Rules of Order 101. You cannot adjourn the meeting when there's a question on the floor. He gonna say, "No, it's not." Read it to me. I said, "You're the president. You're the chair. I'm not reading you anything. You should know how Robert Rules of Order works." But he was so kind to say, "Well, that's not a rule." But the brother did have a question. So I'm gonna ask the executive board to not vote to pass the motion of adjournment and let the brother talk. I said, because you don't know Robert Rules of Order. So I emailed him a copy of Robert's Rule of Order where it said you cannot adjourn the meeting when there's a question on the floor. Boss Hill. He don't have any, he don't know what he's doing. The reason why they're doing.
Let's get Andre. He got his hand up.
Okay.
Yeah. They actually was avoiding. They must have told Keith must have told them we're not gonna get to new business. And I believe what he didn't want coming out is the checks that the police investigations that they under and the amount of money that they spent at the convention. And so he adjourned the meeting in old business. We never got to new business. It was never.
That should be old business though. That should be new business.
But he adjourned it before we can go on. So we didn't even get a chance to finish up old business and never got to new business. his supporters, his cronies, they adjourned the meeting.
Well, let me say
And
this.
that's all illegal. Should be anyway.
None of them know their job, starting with the president. Those executive board members don't know their job. The stewards don't know their job. They think their job is to support Keith Hill and his agenda. The executive board is supposed to right or wrong when the president doing wrong. Look out for the members, but they don't. It is very clear. The stewards don't know their job. I asked the president about the grievance process. He couldn't even tell it to me straight, nor did he refer to the bylaws and Constitution to recite them. It's sad. We are in a very sad situation in this union.
Did you want me? I got the profit and loss on screen. Is there something you wanted me to go to, or did you want me to continue the recording? Or
you can continue the recording, but you can't look. You have to put more than one profit and loss on the screen to see what we're saying about President Hill talking about his 2.4 million, because you can look at the act. They're the same. It's never 2.4. He just talk a good talk. It could never be the same if you bring in $100,000 worth of arrears that they're spilling, and then you take out all the money you did for the convention. The profit and loss could never be the same, but he's touting 2.4 million because he's a good talker. He needs to look at these profit and loss, and he don't ever think that we would challenge him with what. Right. We don't have to make up anything. It's right here in the profit and loss.
Okay. So what do you want me to do next?
I don't know. I was just wondering if anybody else had any questions about the things that happened at the meeting, because first of all,
I mean, did you want me to finish the recording, or just leave it alone?
Well, I thought we finished it, but yeah, finish the recording, because that's important for everybody to hear.
It's about 3.5 minutes. We're only at about 1.5 minutes right now.
Well, yeah, let's listen to the other half, because he's gonna like show some support to Toy Bowers.
Okay. Andre's got his hand up, but Andre, could you just let us know if we could just finish the recording, or you need to say?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, we'll leave your hand up. Here we go.
Keep getting it done. Names, letters.
By the way, everybody, what you're hearing is recorded and posted by Claudel Kane, Executive Board of 103rd Garage. So this isn't anything.
77. He's at 77.
Sorry, 77. Sorry. Claudel Kane at 77.
And it was posted on President Hill's ATU page.
Yeah, he posted this on President Hill's cult. We call it the cult page. We call it cult page because only his bootlicking loyalist followers are allowed. And so let's just finish this. So Andre, Vicky, we're gonna keep your hands up there. We just want to get past this part. Let me stop this timer and play.
Written all the false accusations. Here we are, October 2022. 241 has never received anything like this. This award right here, I want everybody to stand up and give this young lady a round of applause. The lies, the rumors, you see this? This young lady got 15 straight audits. When we came in here, we had an audit where they were spending cash, no receipts. They were supposed to spend $500 a month in petty cash. They were spending all way over $4,000 a month with no receipts, no nothing. That was her, and that wasn't even her audit. That was the audit from the last administration, where they had, 5 deficiencies, Toy, on that audit? It was 5. Toy sat down with the officers, Marquel, myself, China, and Wood, and said this will never happen again. Here we are, 15 straight audits, not one negative mark, not one thing wrong with the books from over 241. Toy Bowers, I thank you for your diligence. I thank you for your hard work. This award is not just for Toy. This award is for the local. ATU has never received an award. This is the Financial Secretary Award in recognition of excellence. Excellence. So that lets you know we're doing something right as a union and as an administration. Everybody give yourself a round of applause.
I stood up and clapped. She paid her per capita on time, and she got the Excellence Award.
Okay, can I say something?
Andre, go ahead. You're first.
I'm a little late for the meeting, so I don't know if y'all brought this up, but I'm
Nope.
gonna make the statement about it. In the meeting, everybody was signed in, came through the front door. When it was time to leave, we was told to go out the back door, the alley, where garbage and stuff like that is at. And I didn't want to go out the alley. I didn't understand why did I come in the front and I had to go out the alley. And because I made a statement to the warden, who made a statement to me to go out the alley, he got really upset and started making threats. And it's all on video. And he told me and Robert to get the fuck out of here. Like this is his building. So the members need to understand we shouldn't have to be treated in this way to go in the front and leave out the back. And then some of the members I talked to outside, they said they was able to leave out the front. So now he picking and choosing certain people, being disrespectful to certain people. And if you're a supporter, you can go out the front. If you are not, you're going out the back. And this is something that we need to speak on, and we need to not be disrespected in this matter anymore.
Thank you.
Well, can I say something?
Hang on. Let's get. Hang on, Mark. We got Vicky and Tom, and then we get to you. All right. Go ahead, Vicky. Oh, Vicky just dropped. There's Vicky. Vicky, unmute yourself. Let me ask to unmute you. Okay. All right, Tom Coangelo, go ahead, bro.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Oh,
I apologize.
We got Vicky. We got Vicky.
I'm
Vicky,
sorry.
and then we'll get Tom. Go ahead, Vicky.
I just came in on the last part of it. I know you guys have been doing a lot on Facebook. Is it anything that you guys doing? Have y'all got any contact with any of the laid off workers? I know, Andre, you mentioned a lot about the peoples that have lost their jobs. Is it any way that us people that have been blocked by Keith Hill and lost our job, is this something that we can do? Can we like protest and tell our story? Is this something that we can, just get a group of us who all lost their job that wants to come back to work? Is we starting any type of protest or something? Is it something that
Absolutely.
we can do?
We need to. Maybe we can start, you guys can create a short video. We can get a group of you guys together, and then we can do like a mini video series. So let the world know, let the city know what's going on out here with transit workers in Chicago.
Yeah, I'd like to
We've done protests supporting and fighting against accelerated discipline. And Vicky, organize it, make it happen. We will support you. We're all volunteers, so we're very limited. But man, if you want to take initiative, sister, and put something together and organize it and set a date, we will help you promote it. And some of us will show up for sure. Whenever you want to do it, just make it happen.
Okay, I just need a list of, I'm not sure. I haven't kept in contact with a lot of people, and I don't know who are the ones that lost their jobs because they didn't take the vaccine. I heard that the government say that it's not a mandatory, so I don't know.
Yeah,
those
that was bargained
names.
for.
If you could give me a list of people and we can have a meeting or something, we can just start setting up something. Or maybe that can help since the election coming around.
I know one person that I can do that, but I don't know if I can give the information, you know what I mean? So I just have to reach out to them.
Yeah,
so what I'd like you to do is just, email us, chicagotransitworker@gmail.com, and put your ID and say, hey, I need names. I need so many names of people who have been fired because of the vaccine or fired because of such and such, whatever you want. And then we can put a call out there and try to get that information to you. How's that sound?
Hey, that sounds great. Thank you.
Okay. And we got Mark. Mark was wanted to say something, and then we got Nicole.
Yeah, about that gentleman that was told to leave through the back. What was his name?
That's Andre. That was
Andre. What would have happened if you walked out through the front?
Oh, they would have. The warders was gonna attack me. You know,
Well, you know
No,
what?
they wasn't. They
weren't.
wasn't.
What
would've
they
been an
gonna do?
argument.
They had the door blocked, Nicole. You went out the front. You
Right.
went out the back along with me, with Tamika and some
Right.
other people.
Okay,
I did,
wait.
but it okay.
If they're preventing you from leaving through the front, call the Chicago Police Department.
Well, that's what I'm
Tell them
gonna
you're
do
now
next
trapped
time.
in the building.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do because we're not gonna stoop down to that level. And it would have been a confrontation. And I had told Keith Hill it was a conversation, and I told Toy Bash, she said, call the police. So that's what we're gonna do next time, call the police.
I mean,
Mark,
look, we
that's
got
great
our
advice.
coordinator locked up. We called the police and we got our coordinator locked up. We're going to go to court. That guy is
Yeah.
crying like a child. His name is Douglas, coordinator of Howard, soon to be X.
Well,
We're
yeah, we
already
know about. We
Okay,
do a
then
lot
that's
of
what
getting
we
them
take it
locked
federal.
That's
up.
what we plan on doing.
Just
So-
lock them up. You'll
so
see how
Mark-
fast they change.
Mark gave us something really simple. You know, when they don't want to let us out, when they don't want to diss us, when they want to diss us like this, our safety and our dignity, we say, all right, I guess I have to call the police because you won't let me out the building. You know, and then maybe they'll let us through. And if not, we just do. Sorry, I hate to do this. You know, Nicole, you were going to say something.
I'm not gonna have no
Yeah,
problem doing it.
So I was just gonna say, yeah, we will call the police because that's the right thing to do because we reported to the president. Again, he's not a good leader. We reported to the financial secretary. She said call the police. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call the police. And it's just gonna be that simple. We're not gonna get into it with them. We're not gonna fight with them because the union hall belongs to the members who pay the mortgage on it.
It's the members'
Great.
bill.
Thank you. Okay, so I am just, you may see my name on here a second time. I'm just testing stuff in the background while you guys talk. Okay, so let's try to break this down about the meeting. So what was good about the meeting? Or actually, before we do that, did anyone, we had Tom that was there. Was there anything you wanted to say about the meeting? Did you?
I didn't see Tom there.
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there. I'm sorry. Okay.
But
Janice,
Tom had something he wanted to say.
Tom, you had something to say, right?
No, I'll speak a little later on.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Janice, go ahead.
I don't know if this is the proper time to say this or not, but it is a sad state where 241 and 308 members are so disrespected. It just leaves me to wonder how is it that you wake up in the morning as a human being and treat another human being with such disrespect? And that goes for any one of us. That's the last thing I want to do is disrespect any person on this earth. So if I've ever disrespected anybody, I apologize. I don't understand it from a clerk, from control, from management, from supervision. Why is it so much disrespect within CTA? Could somebody please tell me, because I've had an issue with a clerk. I won't say their name. I just called there to ask a simple question and asked them who was I'm speaking to, and they tell me the clerk. Why is it so much hostility? I don't understand.
Let me help you with that. I encountered the same thing with a clerk, but I think that everybody lost sight of that you have to be 21 to work at the CTA. No matter what you do at CTA, you have to be 21 to do it. And everybody lost sight. Everybody thinks that train operators, services, and bus operators, that we're beneath them. But we are not beneath them. So you have to call them on it. And actually, when you call a garage and they pick up the phone, they're supposed to say, Williams, how can I help you? Or, you know, something like that. But, you know, the disrespect is real. But everybody has a boss. And once you start calling their boss and letting them know how it's done, then things will get better. Because at one time I noticed that the union will put the clerks, the supervisors, the managers against the servicers, the CSAs, you know, whoever they thought was beneath them. But we're all grown. And there should be some level of respect. So I think that not all, because there's many great people in clerk instruction, but it's a few that gets out of hand and sometimes needs to be brought back. So if I was you personally, you know, I'll tell you what to do off the meeting. But there are ways to get respect, and you shouldn't have to demand it. But if you have to go there, if somebody does you like that, you should demand respect. Because when you go out there and you deal with CTA customers, you got to respect them, right? So when you come to work, you're their customer. And the customers should be treated how? With respect. So that's, you just have to demand it. When they get like that, you just demand it. It's unfortunate.
I mention this because that's the reason why I think the unions both unions, 308 and 241, are like we are in the situation we are now. Because the level of disrespect, there is none. There's none.
Can I say
the level of respect? Yeah. Go ahead, Vicky.
the reason why I'm saying I wanted to say the disrespect because the seed had been planted. It's been planted from day one, and the leadership. If the people that's in the office, and if they're disrespecting you, and they're not holding the company accountable to to have the disrespect. It's come from the leadership of our union. They don't respect us. And so the company going to disrespect, and the bad seed is already there. I've been there for 14 and a half years when I was with the company, and I'm trying to get my job back. But it's always been there, and no one stood up with the union. Instead of the union, the leadership of the union going to the company and telling them to be accountable and put the word respect there, ain't nothing gonna happen. You need the leadership to demand us respect. And then the company look at you like this. Well, you guys, look how y'all disrespect. Y'all disrespect each other. So it's conquer and divide, and it's already the seed. The bad seed is already out there. You're going to have to root it out. You're going to have to start treating people with respect. Each individual, and use wisdom. When I work, I use wisdom. How to deal with people, because I'm a people person.
Yes.
And it's the way how you treat people. You got each one going to have to hold accountable. But if it comes from the head office, and use that head office leadership, talk to the management, put it out there. I mean, the company itself, the company ain't going to do nothing. And so it's just the bad seed is already there. It's going to take the leadership, and each individual respecting each other and holding each other accountable. And if, like she said, you got to speak up in a wise way. Speak up and demand you ain't have to say demand. You can use it as a humble way, but in a right way. That's right. Demanding and ask, if I give you respect, you respect me back in a humble way. Just tell that person that who's doing that clerk, maybe you can teach one.
That's right. And briefly, I would to add on to what, and Vicky just got right into the kind of answer that I have in my heart, Janice, and that is the CTA, the employer, keeps us this way, and they disrespect us, and our union leadership allows them to disrespect us, and they disrespect us when we stand up and say, no, we want to be respected. So the company management sees, okay, no union, the union doesn't demand respect. The membership is disgusted with the leadership of the union and the management. So there is no respect for us. So we're not respectful to each other. And we've all gotten involved in that. And it does take some patience. And like Vicky said, you just sometimes gotta deal with it and talk and listen and say, hey, how you doing today? And get with that clerk and let them know. Because you got to remember, the clerks are right at the breath of the managers. Literally, they are right there, okay? So their jobs are under constant scrutiny. So there's a different kind of pressure. We're under scrutiny too, on the front line and in maintenance, but it's a different kind of scrutiny. So in the workers' contract, the unofficial contract that we're writing as the Justice Coalition, we add the word respect to the contract. So we're putting the Justice Coalition, and you know, when I'm running for nomination, a local 308 president, so I'm running with this thing, with the workers' contract, and we demand that the CTA treat its employees with respect. We have to put that in there. Sorry for talking, but Vicky, you said some stuff that was just perfect, and I just wanted to build on it. Next is Eric. Go ahead. And if you're not on the mic, you're not talking right now, please mute. Thank you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted, if it's useful to the group, I wanted to say a few positive things about what I saw at the mass membership meeting. Is that okay? Would that be helpful?
That'd be great, but let's just, Janice had a serious question about the respect issue, so hold that right there. We're gonna come right back to you, but I think Tom and Andre wanted to add to the respect segment, okay? All right, we'll get back to you. Tom, please.
Yeah, about what Vicky was saying, divide and conquer. ATU is divide and conquering us also. We should be in one local, not two locals. And I think that's something that we should look into.
Agreed. Totally. And yeah, our poll shows that. There's a poll I want to show y'all right here.
So my question is, what do we have to do as a membership to get that done?
Yeah.
They have to go through the convention, just like all the other things, that any changes that take place with the Constitution, that will have to be done at the convention with the delegates supporting that. Because if they don't support it and it get voted on, it don't go through.
Yep.
Well, we know if they're not going to do it with the ATU, so we would have to do other means of that, correct?
I think the way of organizing,
there's no
there's
other
a way it
means.
could be done with organizing, right? You
Yeah.
can organize, work with other unions, so when you do go to the convention, not just 241, other unions are on the same page. I think we can do it that way.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
Yep.
So
And
you
I
have to
put
reach
on the
out to the other
screen.
unions and get them on board, because Washington is the second largest local because of the rail and buses together. So it could happen. You know, it had to come through like the president, like if Eric be the president, he can press that issue with his members, and then they can reach out, the president can reach out to other locals, to the ATU, talk to John Costa, or whoever is in office. Hopefully John won't be in office. He's terrible, none but a crook. So, you know, it all depends on the legwork that you're willing to put out with the people that's supposed to make it happen.
Well, I think we're good at organizing. That's one of the things we can work towards, put as a goal for us.
Yep. Thank
Well,
you.
I know this Zoom call is about the membership meeting, but I'd like to discuss the next month's meeting a little bit too, if we have a chance.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's So Andre, let's get Andre and then Eric Slater. Okay, Andre, go ahead.
When it comes down to this disrespect, the union officials, and that goes from the presidents, both presidents on down to the stewards, it's a major disrespect that they treat the members, treat the members like they property or objects don't matter, or they treat the members like they're not paying their salary. So you looking around, then you got your other employees that gather authority at the company. They'll do the same thing because the union is kind of advocating disrespect, treat them like garbage. I mean, we get treated like garbage like every month we go there, and you get treated like garbage, Eric, when you go to 308 meeting. This is like non-stop. So why would the company think that they should respect us when our own union constantly disrespect us, treat us like we're not paying them no money? I mean, it's unbelievable how these guys talk to us, man. It's they all need to be replaced. I hope the membership understand this, and that's all I need to say. This disrespect is just what happened at the union meeting this week was crazy. Going out the front, get violated on the way out.
Yep. I know. Thank you. And it's so stressful. I loathe going to the membership meetings. I loathe it. It's like, oh God. But I love going to the terminals and the shops and the garages and talking to coworkers and telling them about their rights and listening to them and helping them organize and fight back. That I love. But the union leadership, they hate the members. They hate us. They loathe us. When there's not enough people at a local 308 membership meeting, 25 for a quorum, and they get to close the meeting out there, you never see a union boss so happy, except when the meeting is canceled or adjourned. They love that. Okay, go ahead, Eric Slater. Go ahead.
Just quickly, I just want to say in response to Vicky's point, her first point, she and I and others worked to do a video about the day in the life of a transit worker, and we had many different job descriptions, and it was a really good video. We should send it to the Justice Coalition. You guys can look at it if you haven't seen it. But I think that might be what, and we also went to several demonstrations, did videos about that. When the teachers were on strike, Vicky and a few other coworkers and I went out to that, and that was some good stuff. I think she's absolutely right that this is a central question right now. I don't know the exact number, but it looks like there's hundreds of workers in just 241 alone that have been unjustly fired because of the policies of the CTA and PACE in regards to the vaccine. So I know, obviously I'm still the executive board member for a bus garage of over 400 members, and I have several workers who've come to me and said they've been fired recently this summer on that. So I can try to talk to them, just like you, Eric. I try to respect the contact information of coworkers, and I get their permission before we get to others. In regards to the meeting, quickly, I'll be as fast as I can. I wanted to thank several people who came. Now, keep in mind, this was a very orchestrated meeting. I cannot confirm it until we see the actual financial reports, but it looked like there was at least a dozen, maybe 20 people were paid to be there from the union funds. I know that the executive board was paid, or at least there was a message sent out to myself and others that the executive board would be paid for the entire day, even if they were driving the bus or doing some other things, for them to be at the mass membership meeting. At least at the 10 o'clock, I didn't see very many of them, so they might have just taken the money and run, I don't know. But that was a serious maneuver of the officials to stop the rank and file democracy. As Andre talked about, they closed down the new business section of the meeting when they shut down the meeting undemocratically, when they broke the Roberts Rules of Order, as you correctly said, Naomi. But the big thing was we couldn't have our initiatives from the ranks. And that's one of the reasons why they have those people paid to be there to surround us. But even in those conditions, I thought we did quite well. I think Andre is the only person, maybe Keith Collins, who's gone to more union meetings than myself. And I was quite impressed. We, I think it was Robert and Andre had a t-shirt on. And that scares the heck out of the union officials when you got a nice shirt. you know, that's what we do in the international conventions, is we come and we show our unity with shirts. And of course, there's a long history of that in the social justice movements and the union movement. So that was really good. You know, right from the start, we respectfully confronted using the Robert's Rules of Order the best that we could with our small numbers. There was several things done. I don't want to give her name here, but there was a high seniority, respected instructor who brought up very good concerns and asked pointed questions about the grievance procedures and how it's supposed to work. And we had a serious discussion about how it's not working properly, how the membership are supposed to have a vote before the highest authority is the membership, and that has been taken away from members. And so what that's happened, and this speaks to Vicky's point, is that there's been the officials have been able to discriminate against their political opponents, and that's been going on for a long time. And I unfortunately, it's a collaboration with the highest levels of the ATU, as Eric and I saw very closely a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas. Okay, other people spoke. I thought, you know, and by the way, so my case came up a few times. They refused to even put me on the roll call. Profound disrespect for a 3-term board member, and they're trying to say that I'm not even a member in good standing. They're not even accepting my union dues at this point, to try to stop any kind of opposition to them electorally. And also there was another rank and file worker. I think Andre knows his name. I don't want to disrespect him on this call, but he was in full uniform, just sitting next to me, and he was the one who brought up the recording financial secretary's quote unquote mistake of officially putting the date in which we're supposed to have nominations 2 days after
His name
we would.
is, you can say his name. He's a very good guy, Charles Martin. He's running for president. It's good to say his name.
Okay, very good. So I thought Charles made a very good point. I was actually removed from the executive board. They had a Zoom meeting, which is unusual at this time. And of course, as you know, it's very easy to be a authoritarian on a Zoom meeting. You just press a button to mute somebody or kick them out. And so that's what I believe President Hill and the top officers did, because they wanted to remove me from the meeting right before our mass membership meeting, right before our elections. And so this is, what they're doing is they're attacking the franchise. They're attacking our democratic rights to choose our leadership. And it's not just this administration. It's been going on for a long time. And I don't want to speak for too long, but the thing that he brought up was very good and challenged the recording secretary, and just on the spot, they had a correction sent back. By the way, I don't buy it that it was a mistake. It would have had to go through the entire 5 top officers, the entire executive board, and it just happened to be the executive board meeting which they improperly removed me from the meeting. And that was their first agenda point, was to remove me from the meeting. So I think there was a lot of positive things. I just want to encourage this. I've been going to so many meetings for the last 17 years, and even under this difficult conditions, we held our own. And I really want to thank Nicole and Andre for speaking on my behalf and making important points about the rights of workers to be able to vote for whomever they choose. That's largely what's going on here. And the last point I'll say is the last speaker talked about the next meeting. Well, that's going to be the nomination meetings. And I think you guys are doing some really good work of encouraging workers to run and giving them the tools. I hope we can all come as a group, you know, and sit together at the next mass membership meeting and nominate each other, and nominate as many people as we can who are willing to accept it. Make sure you get the receipt from your nomination. Make sure you're a member in good standing, and the person who nominates you is a member of good standing, and accept the nomination right there, so they can't play any funny business on you. That's the November 1st, 1613 South Michigan, for all ATU 241 members. And that's at 10 a.m. I think is the best time to come.
I got it on screen right here. Yeah, that's the letter. Also on screen, as been discussed here, is the local 241 bylaws, article, what is it, section 12, subparagraph F, right here. It's in black and white. Keith Hill, you're out of order. You're out of order. You are out of order. The members supposed to be making these decisions. Isn't that right, Nicole?
That is correct. I was going to ask you, could you read it? Because some people don't believe, they only believe words coming out of people's mouth. But one thing I pride myself for being a co-organizer of the Justice Coalition, we are about showing you in black and white. We are not making up rules. These are our bylaws and Constitution set forth by the international and everybody else. So I was going to ask you to read it because Keith Hill, we done heard his spiel.
You know what? How about I read it through my nostrils? That'll make it more memorable so they won't forget.
It'll be a lot better than what he does.
All right, get ready, everybody.
Well, I want to say something real quick on that, Eric, before you go with it. I feel that Keith was really being disrespectful to the members because he was like, read, you need to read. Now I'm like, who he talking to? You must be talking to your board because they don't read.
Reading is fundamental. He love to say that. He love to say that stupid shit. Reading is fundamental.
I took it as a compliment, guys, because that means he's looking at all our Facebook posts, because I tell the members that all the time. So for him to say that, that means he's watching what I'm doing. So I took it as a compliment.
Thank you. Tom Coangelo, talk to us.
This is a question for Eric Slater. Are you going to be able to be nominated? And do you have a grievance for your discharge? Because that's what they're telling us, that you have no grievance on your discharge. That's why you cannot be a member of good standing. Maybe you could clarify that.
Do I have the right to speak?
Yeah,
okay.
Don't worry, this is not Keith Hill here. Here, let me put you on mute real quick.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He's out of order, Eric.
Oh, out of order. Okay, meeting is adjourned, everybody. Eric Slater ruined it. Or no, actually, I ruined it. No, go ahead, Eric.
Well, actually, seriously, that's one of the things I did at the mass membership meeting is I didn't go to the lies that were said about me and my coworkers. I did not respond or blurt out. I waited for you guys to speak, and you guys did a damn good job of speaking, because as soon as I spoke, they shut down the meeting, which is what's happened the last several meetings, unfortunately. The first thing is, it looks like they are going to try to attack members' rights to vote for whomever they choose. It looks like they're going to try to claim that I'm not a member in good standing because I'm not paying my union dues, because they're refusing to accept my union dues. I have given my union dues with an official check, and we posted this information to several social media sites, including the official one. They're claiming that there's no grievance open. I heard you say the word termination grievance, which is being discussed this time. So we certainly have a grievance that was filed immediately after they called the police and removed me as an executive board member. This was a few days in June of 2020 when I led a union meeting, which I've done hundreds of times for my coworkers at North Park, not disrupting workflow, et cetera. We simply were reading verbatim the position of the A2 International that was posted about the murder of George Floyd. Management was scared that what may happen is workers may discuss this democratically inside our union, and we may take action potentially to uphold our rights to not have to drive buses and trains that are unsafe. So that's the reason originally. And we did file a grievance almost immediately. Per the section 16 and 17 of our contract, it basically says that as soon as we become aware of an accused offense or a grievance, we have 30 days to file that grievance, which we did. And the main issue here is that a union has I'm not a big fan of grievances, as I'm sure many of you guys know. I think it's a way of trapping our unions inside a paperwork form of unionism, not a social justice mass mobilization where our real power is. And it's really controlled by the companies and the lawyers and the judges and the system that controls us. Well, nonetheless, we filed it properly. We also, of course, went to federal court. We did mass demonstrations. We did an international campaign. We appealed to our coworkers. We even had dozens and dozens of workers call President Hill personally to demand that he back off and support one of the elected executive board members. Well, all that was held back, and what's happened is that they've kept the grievance in committee. So per the bylaws, the top 5 officers of the union are the grievance committee, and they have the authority, so it's argued, to release that grievance to the membership or not, or release it to the executive board. They're bypassing the executive board as they have done for the last 2 administrations, which is against the bylaws and really harms many hundreds, perhaps thousands of workers who have been unjustly fired and are not personal friends of.
Eric, I'm sorry. Can you
Particularly click?
kind of,
Yeah, I'm going too fast.
kind of abbreviate, because
yeah, okay.
it's already
There's so many things that are
4
being
o'clock.
done wrong. Okay, I apologize, everyone. But
just try to
basically,
tie
there
it
is a
up.
grievance.
Just tie
There is
it
a
up.
grievance. It is in order, and the top officials of the union have decided to discriminate against the political rival because we represent a different direction in the union from business unionism.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, so Tom, and then Nicole. Tom, you had your hand up?
Yeah, he's saying it was a grievance. Now I inquired with that with my executive board member and other people, and they're saying there was a grievance on a suspension, not your termination. So that's, I think, how they're putting it out there for people.
Yeah.
Just
I don't-
quickly, the union has the right to file a grievance on any breaking of the contract. That certainly includes the removal of an executive board member from a garage. That certainly includes, so the union, in order for it to exist, it needs to have union representatives like Eric is a shop steward, right? He has the right, because he has this pin, he's taken a class, he's representing the union, and it's the social power of the entire union. The union does not exist on the property if it does not have the right to have representatives on the property anytime. So they're certainly breaking the contract there. So that's one of the reasons. They also cannot discriminate against any member for their affiliation with Local 241 and 308. So that's the basis. So now afterwards, they can of course hold us for months, as they do to many of my coworkers, before finally firing them, and therefore succeeding in removing the board member from the property. And so that's why we filed immediately. It's no problem for the union just to simply continue this grievance when they actually fired me, to just simply say, because the grievance says may call and remove and bring back to work. That's what any kind of termination or non-termination grievance is. So they're trying to claim that a technicality would stop a labor union from having its right to a representative on the property, and that has no purchase. We must defend every one of our representatives.
Could you, is it not too late? Would you just be able to file a second grievance, this one specifically about the termination?
Well, so they actually tried to get us into that trap. What
Oh.
that would mean is they would throw out the first grievance, and then they would bring the second grievance to arbitration. The arbitrator would say, well, it says very clearly in your contract that you must do so within 30 days. It's untimely, case closed.
Okay, gotcha.
You haven't went to the labor board or anything? I mean,
we have. In fact, we have a labor court case that's going on right now, and any workers, especially from North Park, that are able to testify as to what truthfully occurred in the summer of 2020, please reach out to me and our lawyer. We very much would appreciate any brave people to be able even just to speak to our lawyer to tell the truth, and if they can, testify.
So did you file a ULP? I forgot.
Yes. We requested in writing both AT International and the local union to join us in both the federal court case as well as the ULP, and they both refused.
Yeah. Well, wait. Okay. Well, we need to move on though. But Nicole, go ahead.
Just a point of clarity. So what section, bylaw, or Constitution does it say that if any member has a grievance on file, they're still a member of the local? Can anybody cite that bylaw or Constitution section? Because what I get from it, when we were at the union meeting, I did see I heard Brother Eric's side, and I heard Keith Hill's side. But Brother Eric brought out 2 important things to me. He brought out a grievance that he filed for behavior violation, that they violated him. And I bring up the point to Keith that the reason why we're in this situation is because he's a bad leader. And when I say that, that's not a personal feeling that's a real feeling according to the bylaws and the Constitution, because Keith Hill wrote a letter on behalf that Eric did nothing wrong. So when I was reading this book that one of my brothers gave me, How to Be a Successful Steward, it said in the book, it said that stewards and executive board members are to be treated just like managers on a property. But in this case, Eric was an executive board member and he wasn't treated with respect. Now, it is the duty of the executive board member to protect the members. So if he felt, and we having a conversation, Eric, this is Eric, sorry. If he felt that it was Keith's job to step in, come to the meeting and step in and right or wrong. So to me, that's the whole problem. So then I think like, I kind of was sad with Eric Slater about the grievance, because it says, if I'm not wrong, that's why I'm trying to get it, because I can't remember which part it was. If a member has a grievance, it didn't say a termination grievance, it said a grievance on file. It didn't say a termination grievance. So that's why I'm trying to get clarity to this whole situation by the help of others, because I just don't want to assume on myself.
Eric, can you try to give us a brief answer or a brief response?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a termination grievance. There is there's several paragraphs in our contract about terminations, basically making them go faster, because we, at a stronger time in our union, we had many fewer grievances. We didn't have thousands of grievances and people being held for years without any pay. And so what they're trying to say is that they wanted us to file a second grievance on a termination. Now, this is something coming from management, and they're trying to find a technicality to stop the union from functioning altogether. It's not true. It just simply need to have a grievance.
But Eric, I don't mean to cut you off, but can you provide me with the part of the Constitution that talks about the grievance, what you have just have a grievance on file, because that will bring a big clarity to this whole situation. Does it say a termination grievance? Because language matters.
No, it doesn't say termination grievance.
Right.
Sure, I can send that to you.
Us with that. You can send it to me personally, because I'm very interested in myself, because they want to make up their own rules, but what's in black and white matters a whole lot. So that's what I'm looking for.
Looks like can we have Andre jump in here real quick? Go ahead, Andre.
I'm gonna make this real simple for everybody to understand. Keith don't want Eric to come back. All this grievance shit don't mean shit. If Keith wanted a person to come back without a grievance, he can have him come back. You understand? Eric should have never been fired from the get-go, and a lot of other people should have never got fired. The people that got fired, they shouldn't got fired. There was opposition of Keith. They was not in support of Keith, like Eric Sturck and Val and yourself and others. So this is real simple, Eric Slater. Keith ain't gonna bring you back. So you need to open up and help get rid of this brother. Even, because you see the way they doing you in the last hour, in the last month, it's only like 2 months left of the union term, and these people are throwing you under the bus openly in front of the membership at the union meeting. Bro, I would unleash everything I know and explain to the people how rotten this motherfucker is. Just that simple. You ain't coming back. Not long as Keith is the president, because Keith can bring you back, and you should have never got fired. The CTA and Keith Hill work together to make sure that you got fired, and they're gonna work together to make sure you never come back.
Eric, can Eric, can you just give a brief response, please, if you have one?
Yes, well, this is nothing new to most workers who've been here a couple years. They can see that the union officials, their form of unionism is very tight with management, and they don't even hide it. They talk about how close they are to even the mayor of the city, and the top, and it goes unfortunately pretty high. I mean, you saw, Eric, the top labor officials of the U.S. government hobnobbing with the ATU international officials, and the highest levels of the Democratic Party, who are really attacking workers and certainly unions, organized unions. So, any worker who's been here a few years will have seen that. They'll see the lowest level of the union, the shop stewards, going inside with management privately to discuss the business of workers. We've all seen that. That's absolutely wrong.
Yep.
And so when management wants to get rid of a worker, it's relatively easy, unfortunately, especially if that worker's not a personal ally of the particular clique in power.
Time up.
Okay.
Try to wrap it up.
Basically, I'm a victim like others in this case, but the problem is this is even more important because it's the whole function of the union. If we cannot defend our shop stewards.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it?
I think what we're doing is very
Andre,
valuable.
Eric Slater, Andre Thompson. Hang on. Let's let Tom get in here and Nicole get in here. It's getting late, y'all. I'm getting sleepy. Okay, and I don't want to mess up and accidentally adjourn the meeting.
You're out of order, sir. You're out of order.
Okay, Nicole, Tom Coangelo.
Yeah, I just wanted to say Eric Slater was an executive board in those executive board meetings. Now we have a former president been out for 7 years now almost. So what have they done about that in those executive board meetings? But now that he's out of the job, it's all the spotlight's on him. We have our former president still out there with a grievance. Why hasn't that been brought up in these executive board meetings?
Can I briefly respond to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so during the first term of Keith Hill's administration, the recording financial secretary gave up her role per the bylaws, which is the chairwoman of the grievance committee. Instead, what happened was President Hill assigned a committee to become sort of a private grievance committee. So what they did was they bypassed the bylaws, which states that we're supposed to go to the executive board and then to the membership. So basically, and it was particularly easy for them to do this during the pandemic because we didn't have public meetings and they could say, well, we don't have to do that, whatever the decision of the executive board is, but then they bypass the executive board. So we haven't heard anything about it. And that's just the way, unfortunately, they wanted it because the executive board, as I think someone mentioned earlier today, is supposed to function as a check on the misdeeds and the theft or any other problems that the officers may have done. And I think that one of the biggest problems is they're cutting out our ability to change our leadership. That's what they're doing right now.
All right, thank you. Nicole.
Well, the one thing I want to say is that Keith Hill tried to work with management to get me fired. And the only thing reason I'm still here is that I had stuff in black and white. So that's why I was just wondering about the whole for the grievance process. That seems like it'll be a big step into, and I'm with Andre, they're not gonna bring you back unless it's a whole new president. But I'm for sure know what you're saying. I have a good record. I've had a good career at CTA, and they tried to fire me, but they couldn't because I was on top of them. And I never was a fan of Keith Hill or management when it comes to that. I wanted everything in black and white. That's what saved my job. So that's why I wanted clarity about the grievance. So I think like Andre is right about everything he said. They're not going to bring you back, but you need to attack them like they attack you. And I don't know what the answer is, but you should, because you should want to get Keith out of there, and hopefully a new president will come in and they'll get you back to work. That's the ultimate goal. They're throwing you on the bus real bad. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Eric, can you give us do you have a minute response to any of that?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing I think we can do right now, it's not about a vengeance, it's justice. It is decide. You guys are doing some great work with asking for candidates to come in and talk about what they want to do and why. You guys have done great work of trying to encourage rank and file workers to not just go to mass membership meetings, which often feel like they're useless because we're so attacked our democratic rights, but also to run for shop steward, run for executive board, run for top officers. Any one of us pretty much would be better. Because of the really pernicious politics, they're taking us in the direction we're taking us closer and closer to being controlled by management, closer and closer to be controlled by the city administration, which are really our enemies. So I think we should come in. So the last thing I'll say is I sent to the group before a one-page statement of principles, which discuss some of our workplace issues, the problems with the union, and what we could do if we were to take back our union. I think if we would have a discussion about this, we could sign it together. We could go to the properties and then come to the mass membership meeting on the 1st and encourage as many people to take the
Squeak one
positions
more time.
back.
Okay,
Squeaky, squeaky.
squeaky. That's the time up, Eric. Thank you.
1 minute reply.
Yeah, come on. It's your
Members,
turn, Andre.
everybody needs to understand. It's just not Eric. We're not just fighting for Eric. We're not fighting for Eric. We're fighting for every member that should have been back, that's been wrongly terminated. So, Eric, will you be willing to fight for anybody other than yourself? Because you got a lot of brothers and sisters who was powerful in the union who got terminated because they stood up to Keith and they wasn't Keith supporters. So you're gonna have to help other people and other than yourself, bro. Are you willing to do that? Brother Tommy Sams, Val, Vicky Johnson, even Isis Collins, they filed false police reports on her. You know, they try to send her to jail. All that's just crazy that this brother then did to people who are good people at the end of the day. And so you're not the only person out here, Eric. I want you to understand, when you speak for everybody that's been terminated too. And when you want to come back, speak for everybody to come back. That's all I got to say.
Hey, good. You made it.
Squeaky.
Pretty squeaky. Let me get Tom Coangelo in here real quick. And then
Yeah, Andre just about summed it up. He only comes around when it's about him. We got our former president been out since Keith took over. Ain't nobody said nothing about that. Vicky Johnson, Valita Springfield, there's a whole lot of them. But Eric Slater don't ever want to mention them. He only want to mention about what happened to him. And he ought to remember he was fired once before under the Tom Sams administration. They brought him back. But he don't ever want to participate and tell us what's going on in these executive board meetings. We had him on here before, and remember what he did.
it's real important, Eric, you know, that and you can respond next, but you know, that Hill, you know, we had a brother at a garage and he gave you straight up evidence of Hill collaborating with management to punish this brother because he criticized him. And you didn't tell him that he could put charges on the president, you know, and just left that brother hanging. I mean, this is where we part ways, Eric Slater. Okay, this is where we part ways, and that is, we are not harming the union at the coalition. We are saving our union at the coalition because we hold the leadership accountable. And I know that's not quite the way you want to do things, but the truth is the truth. Keith Hill is destroying ATU Chicago, and you are just one of the many, and there's going to be more if he wins another 3 years. Go ahead, Eric.
Well, there's a lot you guys said, but the basic thing is this has been a long struggle. And there's been generations of struggle to try to rebuild our union. And it's not just our union. It's the union movement more broadly that's been under attack for a long time. And so I think there's some very positive things that you all are doing. I think that this may grow into an alternative to the current leadership. But I think that overwhelmingly, the rank and file members of 241 and 308 agree with that their union is positive to exist. And if we can actually come together to agree on some ways in which we want to reform our union and strengthen it, then I think that's the way we can move forward with keeping our union and replacing these 15 or 20 people in their clique and their 100 or 200 people who are in their periphery that get preferential treatment, that get you know, their grievances get moved forward.
Just wrap it up. Go ahead. Finish your thoughts, but please wrap it up.
So I think this is going to continue, and I hope we can continue to work together for all our coworkers.
All right. Thank you. All right. Now, this has been a really, really great meeting so far. We're gonna have to wrap it up. We're coming on an hour and a half. So I want to just plug through this agenda real quick. Was there anything else about the membership meeting? You know, we got the officer election. Anything else? Otherwise, I'd like to move on. Okay.
Yeah, they're a bunch of crooks, all of them.
Yes, they're a bunch of crooks.
I agree. I agree.
They are crooks. They don't like when you catch them stealing. They're like, oh, you're dividing us. You're not very supportive of the union. You.
I second that.
So real quick, meeting the moment. What in the world is meeting the moment? So we made a little parody of it. The CTA has a new program called Meeting the Moment. There's what happened when boss 33% sat in front of his video cameras. The boogeyman, Andre and Eric, hacked it. He was saying, oh my God, what is this? Video is not working. But that's not real meeting the moment. Let's show you meeting the moment. And here it is right here. All right, so this is a post-pandemic future, how to restore service and keep the employees happy. Let's look at the monthly scorecard. This is lovely, isn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna just mute off just for a moment, okay? Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. So what's going on? The ridership and bus and rails kind of going up a little bit since July. There's your pre-pandemic up at 20,000. We're barely up above 10,000. Their headway, interval times. Here it is here, or whatever the hell that means. Service reliability, 71%, 81%. And people, the workers are tired of crap, you know, crappy working conditions and crappy pay. So they're sick and injured too. You're never going to be able to recover all this, but fully, not without severe influx of capital. And here's their bus operator hiring. They're up at 257 this year. Tactile bus stop sign installs, whatever the hell that means. Refresh and renew, that means paint. It still smells like a toilet at Roosevelt. K9 deployment, so that's the old security force they used to have, not the teenagers. That's a different group. Ask CTA events and a CSA video screen. Notice there's nothing about rail hiring because they can't do it. They're hiring through slave wage poverty time jobs. Nobody wants that. So very few are applying to those jobs. So let's have discussion. We have Vicky, your hand was up or down. Robert? Go ahead, Robert.
I was just gonna say that this meeting the moment plan is a joke. You know, they claim they hired 200 odd people this year. Well, what they didn't say on there on that scorecard is that they're 900 operators short system-wide. So that 200 or whatever is just a drop in the bucket. They're gonna have to do some more. They're gonna have to do some incentives or something to get people to come in the door to want to work for CTA, because the word is getting out. People know how CTA treats their workers in regards to wages, in regards.
Yep, got muted. Bumped your mute button there. But yeah, wages and working conditions. Yeah, that's right. And nobody wants to be punished for being.
He's probably still working from home, and we're still out here dying from COVID, getting sick. And his 33%, he could probably do more.
Thank you, thank you. Dropped out, the video dropped out there for a minute. My computer crashed a little bit or something here. Sorry, but we got you, Robert. Thank you. Anybody else?
I just wanted to say, I know they
Sorry,
this
go ahead.
not about with this what's going on with the hiring process, but I did want to just give shout out to actually to Tano Muhammad, because the second vice president, he have been really been he's been really keeping my name up there, and he have told people, I mean, actually he told me that CTA wants to bring me back, but I'm being blocked. And I call them agents of deception. I don't even like saying their names. They know who they are.
Yep.
So it's not, I say it's a few good men are in 241 local union administration. So I had to give my shout out to Tano, because he's been working, and he said that he's about to leave now. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I really do hope that 241 membership stand up and make a change. They really, just like they had Let Go Daily, that who been running the city of Chicago for over 20 years, and his daddy was like you want to say they was like about what, 2 scores of the Daly's family. So I hope that 241 will stand up the membership and make a change and get uproot all of that evil that's up in this organization. Definitely. And it ain't nothing gonna change unless in the membership have a mind to change and say enough is enough. I'm tired of getting screwed over.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay,
you're welcome.
Appreciate you coming in and let us know about someone who has some decency in the local 241 office. Go ahead, Andre. Andre, you put your hand up there. So maybe not. So
I want to say this about Tano real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
If I understand Tano, you know, straddle the fence pretty good and say good things, but he not exposing them. So I'm still gonna put him in. I'm putting him in the same boat, just like Eric. You got to expose them.
Yeah,
you know,
because
good things don't mean nothing to me.
Yeah, you're really a part of the problem if you won't address it. And that's why they had security on me at the ATU convention the whole time. They're following me to the bathroom. You know, it was pathetic because I wasn't there to please their little politics. I was there for the members. They hired me basically to go to the convention and speak on their behalf and defend them and defend truth. And I called out leadership right there. And I even told King Costa himself, you say I'm out of order. Well, you haven't heard the last from me. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I agree with Andre. They're good people, but they don't want to expose them. Eric Slater was on their board for the last 3 years, never exposed them. Always came to us, oh, I got some good information for you. Then when it's time to give it to us, he don't want to give it to us. That's why I don't think he should be involved in these calls here, because he's full of shit.
Yeah, and it's the thing about democracy, it's ugly. We have to allow people in some degree, you know what I mean? But he came as a guest, so it wasn't like his, you know, he wanted stuff on the agenda and stuff. I'm like, well, you know, we have our agenda already, you know, but you can come and be a guest. So anyone's really well, even Boss Hill can come on if he wants, you know, Boss Dixon. But I'm tired of it. Yeah, I'm tired of it. These people, we elect them and they defend each other. They defend, the elected people defend each other. They don't defend us. It's like we're the disease. That's how they treat us. And it's disgusting.
Eric Slater was on the board when they got rid of our former president, Tom Sams. No, none of them board members brought up anything about bringing him back. But when he got fired the first time, Tom Sams and the administration got him back. That's why I don't agree with him.
And gave him some work at the office too. You know, but yeah, Tommy Sams, he's got his flaws. He got a lot. We all flawed, you know. And but man, even Keith Hill, if Keith Hill, we fire him and send him back to the lavish lifestyle of a full-time bus operator, and that he gets like caught up in something, we should fight for his job.
He's not going back to the bus. I guarantee you that. They got him a nice office
Yeah, that's a
down there.
negative.
But my point, you see my point? That if one of our members is being unjustly treated and fired, we have to defend them, you know? And so why you make Tommy Sams, you don't like Tommy Sams, or someone don't like him, whatever, fine. 7 years? Forget that. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. All the Vicky Johnson, Vicky, I don't know what, 5 years now?
Like Eric Slater said, they tabled his grievance. They did the same with Tom Sams. 7 years ago, they tabled it and it ain't came off the table yet.
Yeah, they put it under the table. Go ahead, Nicole. Nicole, you had your hand up.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think Tano is like a super agent to me. He comes in deception. Well, I mean, I'm glad that he works with Vicky, but he don't be transparent. He works with them and make us think that he's on our side, and he's not. And just like everybody said that, you know, he should do more and come forward and expose them, but he don't. I exposed to myself, me personally. They were trying to fire me when Keith Hill was trying to get me fired. I told Tano, if you're gonna be with a gang, don't play with me. He showed me his hand. He works with them. He do a good job of deceiving the members. I don't know, for everybody, it might be different. I know they choose and pick everybody different. And I don't know what was different for me and Vicky, but Tano showed me his hand. He works with them undercover. And I just think, yeah, I'm glad he retired. Supposed to be a good guy. He's just deception, in my opinion, but that's all I had to say.
It's sad. It's just sad how co-opted everyone is, and you know, they want to. I'm sorry, there's a big difference. We have to draw the line. We cannot just, you can't play both sides. It happens. We get caught up and we do it and we screw up. But after you're exposed about it, or you get through it, you're gonna have to, you know, eventually pick a side, because then it's just like, you know, are you real? Okay, let's we got Vicky, and then I want to move on and wrap this up. We got to shut down this awesome meeting. I'm sorry, but I got to get to bed. Sorry. Go ahead, Vicky.
Well, yeah, you got to have somebody in there that's helping somebody. Tano, like you said, he helped you, Nicole. He helped many other people. Sam.
Oh no, I think you misunderstood. He did not help me. He did not help you. He did not. He was an agent. Yeah. I didn't need it. I didn't need his help.
He didn't help Eric Struck either. He didn't help Eric Struck at all.
He was an agent of deception.
Okay. Well, you know, I did my own work. My case is a winnable case. I just have to, I don't trust them people with my arbitration, period. I know that, you know, how corrupted they are. I don't trust them. So I'm going to sit and wait, and I'm hoping that the membership will change. Tano, he did what he did, but I kept myself alive. But Tano, he was a mouthpiece for me. And I have heard from management that they said they would bring me back, but I'm being blocked. And I know for Tano, he helped other people's too. And you only can do, like he said, I only can do what I can. But I understand what y'all saying. If you in there, why don't you say nothing? Why don't you expose these people and let the membership know? Because once you continue to hide stuff, that's where the people lose. That's where we lose. That's why deception, I said deception, keep winning. You got to speak up. You got to say something. You got to say something. So, but I understand his situation. I understand everybody's situation, but I just sit back and wait till my time. And I will get back. It's just a matter of time.
Yes. And I'm sorry you're suffering like this because of these horrible sellouts. Let's jump in. We got some, we started a program of satisfaction surveys. you know, some people are participating, some are not. We're also using it as a way to build up contacts for the Justice Coalition. Let's take a look at people's satisfaction of the, we got the latest satisfaction survey out, so please fill it out if you're how satisfied you are with the union. Let's look at what, I think this is last month. And this was September. We didn't have a lot of responses. 2. So 50% very dissatisfied and 50% somewhat dissatisfied. Yeah. So all this stuff is public for you. You know, we're figuring out ways. It's a volunteer operation. So, you know, promotion is pretty much whatever we can blast out. And that was that month. And the month before was August. We had 6 responses, mostly from 308, and very dissatisfied with the local, 50% dissatisfied with the president. 2 said they don't even know who the president is. During the last 30 days, you were helped with anyone? How satisfied were you with that assistance? So, you know, I help myself because I do not trust the union. That's 33% there, and 33 is neither satisfied or dissatisfied. Not looking good. And let's look at the month before. We need more responses, honestly, but yeah, it's here, right? This was all 308. And
Yeah. I guess we'll wait a couple seconds for Eric to drop back in.
Hey, Robert.
okay, y'all,
Hey.
sorry about that. Zoom either quit or my connection. I don't know what the hell happened. Sorry. Facebook advertising, we are kind of like in limbo with this right now, having technical issues with, they're very picky. So bear with us. Me and Robert are stumbling around in the dark, trying to figure it out. Got some old stuff on here. I guess I copied and pasted the wrong stuff. Sorry. That's about it. Let's decide. We have final open discussion. So any final things you want to talk about? Otherwise, I want to plan the next meeting.
Hey, Eric, do you want to talk about the t-shirts again real quick?
T-shirts, yeah, and then we'll get Tom. Sorry. T-shirts, $15 for the t-shirt that you saw Robert wear, and 22 for a polo like this, similar to this.
It on here. Can
Yeah.
you guys see can you see the shirt I'm wearing?
Yeah.
So this is a new design here. Basically all the information that was on the banner is on this shirt. I just copied all the information. So this will be a new design that we have. And I'm making a website to sell these shirts on, and it'll be ready tonight, and I'll send you guys the link.
And we'll link that on the main website. See if there's an embed code, some kind of widget I could put in there too.
I doubt it'll be an embed code. But
okay.
It definitely will be a hyperlink though.
Good, thank you. It'll be secure shopping for your Chicago Transit Justice Coalition goodies. They are not hypoallergenic to the union bosses. We had Tom and then Janice.
Yes, you could take Janice first because I want this unrecorded.
Okay, Janice.
I don't want mine recorded either, so.
Hey, you guys must have conspiring in the chat room.
Eric. Let's see.
We did.
Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pause the recording. Can we decide on, before we do that, can we decide on the next meeting, or do you just want to wing it? We'll decide later. You want another meeting, or you're not sure?
Well, I think like we need an in-person meeting because it's time to get to the get going, Eric. So can we have an in-person meeting? I suggest the week after 241 nominations, that Sunday. I think that'll be like the 7th or 8th, something like that.
So that Sunday is the 6th.
Oh yeah, well I'm thinking, can we have an in-person meeting the 6th?
All right.
And I got a place. Okay, I want to say, if this is okay with everybody, it's like on 14th of Michigan. It's Harold's Chicken. They have a great upstairs. The owner actually is walking out the door. The owner asked us to come back, and it's a nice place.
Negative, too close to the office.
Real close to too close to the union office.
We had one at Giordano's that was like on 13th of Michigan.
I'm just messing with
But
you.
it's a private room. Oh, I'm saying it's a private room upstairs we can ask for.
You're out of order.
What would be the time, Nicole? Because now on the new pick, I will be working on Sundays, and I would love to be there.
Oh, well, Eric goes to bed like at 3 o'clock. So it would have to be early.
Can we do it at noon?
Yeah. Is noon good, Janice?
Yeah, it
Or
sounds
no?
good. I probably could get there. It'll take me a minute, but I probably could make it there because I get off at 1. So that sounds great.
Good. Okay.
Eric, what do you think? Can we put?
Yeah, I'm putting it down unless anyone has any objections. Please say something and we'll do a vote. But otherwise,
What about 1 o'clock?
what time?
1 o'clock.
I prefer noon, but what do y'all say? What do you want, 1 or noon?
I don't care. It doesn't. Oh no, it doesn't matter to me. I just like
You can come at 1 if you want.
Yeah, we'll still be there, right? So like.
Oh, okay, because I was just wondering
know
about
I'm always.
you're gonna miss the meeting.
No, we don't want. But the meeting's going for a while. Just today, we're like 2 hours in, Eric.
Yeah, it's pretty long. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it now, the recording.
Take care.
See you at the in-person meeting on November 6th at Harold's Chicken at 14th in Michigan, 1 p.m. Goodbye.